What's up, y'all? Today we're gonna test voltage meters, OBD 2 voltage meters, and then I got the SPL base mini base lab that plugs into the cigarette lighter as well. So we're gonna test that and see how accurate they are compared to, say, an actual voltage reader that you would buy from you know, an audio site. So my back batteries here reading 13.7 at resting voltage. Now what we're gonna do is compare that 13.7 to this device here, and then this device here. Both of these two are voltmeters that you can plug in your OBD 2 port, and obviously they both got all kinds of different stuff. This isn't actually a specific voltmeter device, but this one is. This one also, depending on what vehicle you have, some vehicles it will display how fast you're going up here on the window, if you're miles per hour. It'll do the voltage. There's a few other things that this will do too, and that's vehicle dependent. But this is very simple. You can buy this little guy at Walmart. I think it's like 20 or 30 bucks. I don't remember for sure. But it'll come with a little pad that you can set up on your dash somewhere. And then you set this on the pad so it doesn't go anywhere. And then you'll get a little film that you can place on the window above this so that it'll display better on your window. I don't have that. I used it on another vehicle, but I can still see it displayed on the window here anyways. And then we'll compare it to the resting voltage that a cigarette lighter would give you. And obviously certain cigarette lighter ones are going to be a little different than this that you normally get. But I'm just going to go ahead and say right away that any cigarette lighter that you get is probably not going to be an accurate voltage reading. I don't believe a single one of them will be. But we're going to test what I got. And I don't have a voltmeter that you would see tucked into the dash here anywhere, but it doesn't get any more accurate than that digital multimeter. So, and we'll go, and after testing this resting voltage comparison, we'll go and test it under load and see how they compare under load. Unfortunately, unlike this one and a multimeter, I have to turn on the key forward. Should be enough to get this one to display its voltage. So I will go back and recheck that when this one is on, just to compare the draw when the key's turned on as well. Let's see what this thing's resting at. Alright, so you see there, that says 12.9 volts. And I suppose since that's getting a little draw as well, we'll go check back here with the multimeter again as well. Alrighty. So now it's saying 13.6. So just from that being plugged in, we only dropped 0.1. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, fellas. I got a phone call. So 13.6 now with the SPL mini plugged in, and that was reading 12.9. We'll double check here. Oh, now it's reading 13.2. I'm not sure. Oh, look at that. If I move this around any little bit, the voltage changes. See that? So we'll just go ahead and mark these off as don't ever rely on voltage for your vehicle for this. It's not going to be accurate. Now let's see what we get displayed up here. Well, let's see if we can get it displayed without turning the key on. Okay, as you see, it's not going to display it without the key on. Alright, we got the key on. Let's see here. Come on. There we go. Is it going to display? Yep, there we go. Okay, so as you can see, that's reading. Oh, now the amplifier just turned on too. Let me get that turned off or off. Sorry about that. So now we got a reading of 12.3 on this. So I'm going to assume that's going to be off as well. Go take a look again. Oh no, it dropped down to 12.5 now, based off of the amplifier turning on and the other light accessories. So 12.5, 12.3. Let me turn the headlights off. That didn't help. Totally not prepared for this, guys, but 12 point, oh, there we go, 12.4. Check it back there again. Sorry. Okay, now that jumped up to 12.7 now. As far as that, I'm gonna go ahead and say that oh, now it's jumping back up. So 12.5 to 12.7. I'm gonna go ahead and say that that is close enough. I mean, it's a lot closer of a difference than say that is over there. Let's get this one plugged in quick and see what that one's reading. And again, the lights are on the dash, so voltage may drop a little here or there between plugging these things in, but we'll check. Oh, well, look at that, guys. That is fucking awesome. 12.7, so that should be dead on with the multimeter back there. Yep, 12.7. Wow, I did not expect that, guys. Not at all. It fluctuating between 12.6 to 12.7 up here. That is great. I did not expect this thing to be that accurate. So I would, at this right now, at this point in time, I would go ahead and say that this one here is doable. And again, that's dependent on how they react under load. But we're gonna turn the truck on now and see what they read with the charge. Alright, so truck on with the charge. We're reading 14.7, 14.8. It changed here. Let me get that back up. There we go, 14.8. And guys, you can see that reading in person a lot better than you can on the camera. Yep, there you go, 14.8. Dead on, guys. Alright, let's check the socket, 12-volt socket reader. Give me a second, loading up. There we go. Okay, and that is reading 14.8 as well. So with the charge on it, it is reading the same as everything else. Let's see what happens if I wiggle this around. Yeah, it's jumping up to 14.7, 14.8, 14.9, all over the place if this is wiggling around. So if you're driving down the street, just the littlest bump like this is gonna affect the voltage reading you're getting. So don't go, if you're looking for something cheap, don't go with one of these little plug-in voltage readers that you see on Amazon or at Walmart. I mean, you can just run out to Walmart and grab you one of these guys right here. Yeah, it displays the mile per hour right there. That's dope. Temperature, I'm not sure what that temperature is for, but the outside temperature, engine temperature, I don't know. The engine temperature is way hotter than that, so that wouldn't be accurate if that was the case. There's the voltage. And like I said, again, it's vehicle dependent. I've had this in another vehicle, and I had absolutely no problems at all with it in the other vehicle I had. My Tahoe, though, I have problems with it turning on and off and switching. See how it just switched right there and turned off? See, now it turns back on by itself. But I'm gonna just say that that's just my vehicle. There's something with my computer or OBD 2 port that causes this to turn on and off. But the other vehicles I've had it in, it's never been a problem. Let's get that unplugged and get this plugged back in. The other thing too is this is not too bad of an option, because you can just, you know, set it up here on your dash back here. It's a real thin wire. You can tuck behind your dash right here, along here, and route it through to your OBD 2 port. Like I got this one routed through there, so this is gonna be a lot easier to route through there, so you're not hiding stuff, or you're not seeing stuff, wires hanging out all over the place. Forgive me. You know, this thing's taking forever to turn on. Be back when it's on, y'all. Alright, we got it back on, and this device is reading 14.4, 14.5. I've noticed lately that it has been reading this low. When I first installed it, it was reading at that 14.8, 14.7. Maybe I have a connection loose or something, I don't know. Let me just check here quick. So I think it is now all connections are tight. I think this device, or you know, another OBD 2 port device would be okay to use. Again, it might not be 100% accurate to the point, but you know, it gives you a general idea of where you're at, plus or minus. But I typically say minus in this case. Let's go back and check the multimeter again, and again that one's reading 14.8 still. Multimeter 14.8. I might have to tape these onto this battery when I run the test with some electrical tape so we can compare it. Yeah, see that little bump, the wire there, just there we go. All right, that was kind of dragging on a little bit here, so we're gonna go ahead and jump into the next portion of the test to see if they're accurate under load, or how close they are to accurate under load. And it looks like this one's possibly going to be the winner today. So, but we'll see what happens. All right, we'll be back. All right, guys, we are back, and we're just going to throw in this SMD CD track 1, 40 hertz 0 dB. I can get it out of here. Come on, get out. And you know, the CD output is going to be a lot different versus using like Bluetooth or whatever. You guys know that already, but for this purposes it'll be just fine. We're gonna try, we're not gonna full tilt and see what voltage is at full tilt, but we're just gonna turn it on and get it to drop a little bit, as hopefully I don't have to tape those leads onto the battery back there. And hopefully we can get them there good. I mean, if something happens, oh well, I'll just hold them. But let's go ahead and see what we get going here. We'll turn it up a little bit till we see like 14 on the voltage or something. And again, guys, this is going to be more accurate than like playing a song. This is going to hopefully keep it at a steady voltage. So right there, this one stayed pretty close to accurate. It was still reading 14.8 when we had 14.7 on the multimeter. And you see this one's still reading 14.3 after putting the load on it. But it didn't really drop down below that 14.3, so I wouldn't rely on this thing at all, and I'm not going to anymore. And obviously I didn't have enough music playing to have this jumping around and affecting that. But we're gonna go ahead and plug this one in and see if it reads accurate under load. And if we can't get, I guess if this reads really close to accurate as well, we'll turn it up some more and see if we can get more of a voltage drop on here and over there, and then compare. The same with this one as well. See what we can get. Okay, so here at startup it's reading 14.7. That one's reading 14.8 again. And 14.8. Oh, what the hell, guys? These readings are just all over the place today. Start the track over. Turn up the bass a little bit. Oh yeah, there's an ambulance out there, guys. So as you can see, it's 14.5, 14.6. It's good enough voltage for me to drop down to compare these things. I don't know if you guys want to see a voltage drop of like 13 to compare them to. Let me know. I can come back and do that again. But as you see, that one over there had a completely off reading when everything was turned off. This one here was dead on when everything was turned off, and it was dead on when I originally plugged it in too, and then now I get out here to test it, it's off again. But again, point 1, point 2, it's not a huge deal. And I mean, if you guys can't afford or don't have the time to get a voltmeter that hooks directly to your batteries or your amplifier, however you want to install it, I think this right here is going to be your best bet. This was the closest reading out of all of them, as far as with everything being turned off and then with the load on it as well. I mean, and with this one over here being turned on, it's pretty accurate, it's close as well, even under load. But again, it's just a simple, get this moving around too much and it messes up your reading, and you're not gonna have a 100% accurate reading. If you don't care if your reading's 100% accurate, then sure, get you one that plugs in right there. You know, they all give you a general idea. A lot of people say, well, don't get one that plugs in there. I'm going to tell you as well, don't get one that plugs in there. But if you do have one that plugs in like that in your cigarette lighter, just understand that there's certain variations that you've seen in this video here that can affect what you think your voltage may be at. You could be at more voltage than what you really think you are with one of these, or even less. And it's the same deal for these OBD 2 ports as well, but this one is going to get you the closest possible voltage reading by far. If you don't have one that connects directly to your battery. And yeah, it's got an on-off switch over here too. I forgot to tell you guys that. And it's got another little dial over here that changes it doesn't work with this truck, but it works with other vehicles. You can push it in or do it this and that for other different settings and stuff. And I mean, it's kind of cool to have something displayed on your window like that as well. So let me know what you guys think about my tests here. If you think they're bunk, if you think they're accurate or close enough to help you guys decide what you want to get. Because maybe a lot of people might not have the patience to wait for, you know, the voltmeter to come in the mail for a week, and they want to know right then and there, and they run out to Walmart and grab something from Walmart. You know, and if you're in one of those situations, again, get yourself one of these. You're not going to want to go out and spend the money on this just for voltage reading. I mean, it's nice and that I can drive and see it displayed right here. Shit. Forgot to turn my CD off. Sorry, guys. Damn near shit myself right there. Yeah, at this point, I'm just rambling on, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. And I hope you guys enjoyed this a little bit, or hopefully learned something. Appreciate you, and like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, I'm just gonna add to you guys, if you got a multimeter and you pick a voltage device up that is similar to one of these, that's got these plug-in ports there. Again, you can always test your device compared to a multimeter. That way you know if it's going to be accurate or how close to accurate it is for yourself. Because I mean, when I'm driving, and we've seen that this didn't really when I was playing the music, we seen this didn't really drop below 14.3, 14.2 or whatever it was under load, even though my voltage is sitting higher than that right now. That kind of sucks, because if I'm having voltage drop and that's not going anywhere, I don't know what my voltage is dropping to, and it's not a huge deal at this point. But if I'm dropping down to the 13s or 12s and this isn't reading accurate, I'm starting to turn down the bass knob, you know, just to try and get this reading up better. But if you can compare your device to your own multimeter, that way you can get an idea of whether your device is accurate or if it's off. And then when you're playing your music, you know that, okay, this device is 0.1 off, or this device is 0.4 or 5 off. So if my device says I'm dropping down to 12 volts, you know, 12.5 volts, but no, I'm really only at 13 volts, you know. A lot of time people will see that 12 volt down there and freak out, or you know, the 11 to 10 volts, and start freaking out, and start turning their music down and all that, and start wondering why they're having voltage issues. And you know, it could just be as your voltage issue is your device isn't reading it correctly. So just kind of learn and get to know your equipment that you're using, so that you know you're safe at a certain point. Alright guys, I'm out.